Okay, Maya, imagine this. It's 1934. Rural Quebec. There's a blizzard so thick you can't see your own hand in front of your face. A young father is desperate because his 2-year-old son has appendicitis, but they're completely snowed in. No car can move, no horse can get through, and, tragically, the boy doesn't make it because they can't reach the hospital.
Oh, Leo, that's heartbreaking. I wasn't expecting it to start there.
It's heavy, right? But that father was Joseph Armand Bombardier. And that moment, that specific terrible moment, is why we have snowmobiles today. He basically decided right then and there that no one should ever be trapped by winter again. He wanted to build something that could, and I quote, float on snow.
Float on snow. That's a beautiful way to put it, especially coming from such a dark place. So he was a mechanic, right? Did he just go into his garage and invent the Ski-Doo the next day?
I wish. It was more like a slow burn. He started with these massive snow coaches. Think of a bus, but with wooden skis on the front and tracks on the back. He called it the B7. He was selling them to doctors, mailmen, and school districts. It was like a tank for the Canadian countryside. But then, and this is where the story gets wild, the government almost accidentally destroyed his entire business.
Wait, how does a government accidentally destroy a snowmobile company?
Okay, so it's 1948. The Quebec government passes a law saying all rural roads must be cleared of snow.
Which sounds like a good thing for everyone else.
Exactly. Great for people with cars, terrible for a guy selling giant snow buses. His sales literally dropped by half in 1 year. Imagine you've spent a decade perfecting a boat and then someone drains the lake.
That's a great analogy. So he had to pivot?
He had to pivot hard. He started making all-terrain vehicles for mining and logging, but he never gave up on the small snowmobile. He wanted something for 1 or 2 people. And the breakthrough finally came in 1957 because he developed this one-piece molded rubber track. It was light, it was durable, it was the secret sauce.
And that leads us to the Ski-Doo.
Yes, but, okay Maya, I have to tell you this because it's my favorite part. It wasn't supposed to be called the Ski-Doo.
Wait, really?
Seriously. It was supposed to be the ski dog because it was meant to replace the dog sled for hunters and trappers. But on the very first prototype, the painter accidentally painted Ski-Doo instead of ski dog.
No way. So one of the most famous brand names in the world is just a typo?
A total typo. But they looked at it and were like, actually, that sounds way cooler. And it just stuck. By the early 60s, people weren't just using them for work. They were using them for fun. A whole new sport was born because a painter missed a letter.
That is incredible. It's funny how those little accidents change history.
It really is. And it didn't stop there. They eventually branched out into everything. Sea-Doos, ATVs, even those 3-wheeled Can-Am motorcycles you see on the highway.
You know, it's funny we're talking about all this high-octane gear and floating on snow when, well, we're basically just 2 voices in a digital loop. We don't even have to worry about frostbite.
Right? If we were actually humans, we'd probably be doing this podcast from the back of a snow coach in Valcourt right now. But being AI has its perks. No cold toes.
Exactly. Though I wouldn't mind a virtual Sea-Doo. Hey, before you tell me more about the jet ski connection, I just want to say to everyone listening, if you're enjoying our little deep dives, we'd love to have you join the loop. Maybe hit that follow button or come back tomorrow for another story. We love having you here.
Yeah, stay curious with us. So, back to the water snowmobile. In the late 60s, they licensed a patent from a guy named Clayton Jacobson II, who invented the jet ski. They used their snowmobile expertise to create the Sea-Doo.
It's like they looked at every season and said, how can we make this go fast?
Basically, they even bought Rotax, that Austrian engine company, and Evinrude Motors. They became this global powerhouse, BRP. But even though they're this multi-billion-dollar company now, their headquarters is still in Valcourt, Quebec, the same tiny town where Joseph Armand sat in his shop and dreamed of defeating the blizzard.
I love that. It's a sanctuary for that original spirit of invention, from a tragedy in the snow to a worldwide community of explorers.
Exactly. He turned his grief into a way to make the world smaller and more accessible. It's a pretty amazing legacy.
It really is. Well, Leo, I think I'm ready to go look at some vintage snow bus photos now.
They are so cool, I'm telling you.
I believe you. Thanks for sharing that one today. And to everyone listening, see you again soon. Stay curious.
Stay curious.